Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. The title of the song has my nerd brain going, and I would like to know who your favorite Superman is, Henry Cavill or Henry Cavill. And I also would like to ask you a more open-ended question in our live chat today. What is your kryptonite? Now, this is going to be my very first time analyzing Three Doors Down, and we have a lot to discuss, so let's get to it. Oh my. Those are my biceps, is a subtext right there.
Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. Well, I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. Well, I feel there's nothing I can do.
This is so striking from the beginning. And I think it's a combination of two things. It's his voice. So Brad Arnold's voice has this, gosh, there's a quality about it that immediately grabs me, and I'm having my words just escape me because I don't know how to describe that quality yet. But it's a combination of that grabbing by the voice and this incredible visual of this older man with a pigeon, and of course we have older superhero and ants on a corn dog. There's so many fascinating images in there, and it actually looks like, are we looking at the scaffolding that the band members are on in the other scene through his window? Whoa, that would be crazy. Very, very grabbing. I'm going to go back to the beginning, see if we can suss out what it is about Brad's voice that is so engaging. It's a very memorable riff right away. A lot of driving rhythm to it too.
Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. Well, I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. Well, I feel there's nothing I can do.
So I'll read off a couple things that add to the quality of being grabbing. One of them is that his voice actually has a lot of continuous energy in it. It's got a remarkable amount of legato for such a contemporary sound, meaning that he seems to really gooey. It's gonna be a word, guys. It's a word, I swear. Gooey connect his vowels and consonants. They're all strung together, so we're not really losing his sound. The moment it's there, it feels like it's inevitably drawing us in, and it doesn't ever let up. Another thing is it's really easy to understand his words, but they don't feel over enunciated. They're in a casual, like essentially more casual dialect, but at the same time, super duper clear. So we're grabbed instantly by the lyrics. But I think the last thing is there's this sort of a slight snarl, not a growl, but there's like a bite in the placement of it that feels like it's part of his signature sound that has a certain, almost like a bittersweet edge. It's like he's embraced this inherent sound of his voice, and it really, really hits well. Back to the beginning, one more time.
I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. Well, I watched the world
Here's another thing I'll talk about in a bit. Yeah. Are bugs someone's kryptonite out there? Just curious. I'm okay with most bugs, actually surprisingly okay, but not spiders. I'm not okay with spiders. There is one of my one of my real life kryptonites. Can't stand them. I would much rather have a mosquito in the room than a spider. I know I hate mosquitoes too, but not as much as I hate spiders. Ugh.
I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. After all, I knew it had to be something to do with you. I really don't mind what happens now and then, as long as you'll be my friend at the end.
I totally love the whole scene that's happening in this music video. It's fascinating. But it's not as fascinating as one of the elements about Brad's voice that is actually just amazing. I should have tapped into it earlier because I know he has a background in drums. I don't think he's drumming. Yeah, in this video, it's Richard Leels who's drumming. So I know that Brad went away from playing drums around 2000 when this was released and became just the frontman. But probably because of his background in drumming, his consonants are so nicely timed. There's almost a sort of rap-like element to his lyrics and the way that the consonants are flicked off a lot of times. And there'll be just it's a slightly more complicated rhythm than a lot of singers would write, but executed with so much suaveness. So whatever that legato line is, part of the reason I think it is so legato is because when he does have a consonant, which essentially breaks up the vowel line, when those consonants are in there, they're very flicky and they don't ever lose energy because it takes a lot more energy to get most consonants out there. With vowels, you have pitch that's helping sustain them underneath. Some consonants like an S or a T, things that are explosive or sibilants, those will be a little easier to get there. But there are a lot of other consonants that just can be very, very difficult to help maintain the energy level. And he places his perfectly. They're in a wonderful groove, and they're always done in such a way that adds to the line rather than takes away from it. Let's go back a little.
I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. After all, I knew it had to be something to do with you.
That had beautiful, subtle rhythm.
What happens now and then, as long as you'll be my friend at the end. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman might, Kryptonite.
I love that our old guy is getting into a superhero costume. That makes me so happy. And it goes so beautifully well with this idea of like if somebody goes crazy, can they still be a superhero? And I think honestly, this idea is expanded more and more in a lot of our contemporary films. A lot of contemporary movies or TV shows like The Boys talking about how superheroes can have so many flaws that they'd just be real people. Then again, I guess we don't have any I don't know if we have any real life superheroes. I think that they exist, but maybe not ones who fly. But maybe someday, hey, we can always aspire to be a rocket man in some way. I think real life superheroes still exist, but maybe not on that eye laser level. That being said, I think that it's possible for anybody to idolize another person and then find out that they've got a flaw and it is a black and white situation where they think, yeah, they're just total trash now, which is so sad. I think that it's important for us as people and as aspiring superheroes to embrace those flaws and learn how to make them better and better and better instead of trying to hide and possibly become incapacitated by them. So, one of the things that is hard in life that makes us feel flawed is getting older. And I love this idea that you have somebody who's getting older who feels like a little bit batty, right? In this video, it's like, I'm still a superhero. I am gonna do this. The world is gonna be better because I'm here.
Go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman might, Kryptonite. You call me strong, you call me weak, but still your secrets I will keep. You took for granted all the times I never let you down. You stumbled in and bumped your head. If not for me, then you'd be dead. I picked you up and put you back on solid ground.
Oh. Do you hear how specific he is with when he slides there? The range overall that Brad's exploring is pretty narrow. I don't think that takes away from the song in any way. Okay, to be super, super clear, you do not need to have a 4-octave range to be a great singer. I think really if a person has 2 octaves of excellent pitches, they can be amazing. In his case, it's staying even more narrow. And he's so specific about so many expressions. Let's just talk about the slides in this section.
You call me strong, you call me.
I think that was right on top of it. Sweet. Loitering police order, no drinking. I'm guessing like violators will be prosecuted. Probably says no loitering on top there somewhere.
You call me strong, you call me weak, but still your secrets I will keep.
So strong had a slide there and keep had a slide. But interestingly, weak had no slide at all. All the other ones are very, very clean, right on point, meaning they're straight on pitch. And both strong and keep had down slides, actually.
Took for granted all the times I never let you down.
Now, times and down, ironic here, both had up slides. Up slides. He's really super specific about when he's using those slides.
You stumbled in and bumped your head. If not for me, then you'd be dead. I picked you up and put you back on solid ground. If I go.
So just so you know, there are a couple other spots in there where he used a consonant that happened right before at the end and had like a tiny little slide as well. But then there are a lot of times when he was choosing voiced consonants in particular. Voiced consonant meaning that there's a pitch underneath it. Voiced consonants often come in pairs like P and B. P, B. P is unvoiced. B is voiced. And the only difference between the two, they're articulated in the same area. It's bilateral or bilabial, meaning that it is your lips that are articulating this consonant. Underneath the B, there is voicing. So the vocal folds go wacka, 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 and they create a pitch that goes under the B. When singers are figuring out how they want to set a melody to words, they have to consider with any voiced consonant what pitch that consonant is going to have. Is it going to slide? Is it going to be on the top pitch or the pitch right below from the previous one? There are many, many ways you can choose how to place the pitch of a voiced consonant. And it's a decision that needs to be made if somebody wants to be precise. He's extremely, extremely precise and has made a decision with every single voiced consonant where it goes. Of course he would. He's a drummer. They get precise like that. I'm not surprised.
Put you back on solid ground.
That was on the top pitch.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by
jerks. If I saw him out there, I'd be like, yeah, man, do it. Change the world. I'm so mad at that little gang now. Gosh.
Superhuman, my kryptonite.
All right, let's talk about the kryptonite here. What's your kryptonite? We've already talked about bugs. I'm gonna say that it is difficult for me to hear people speaking badly, where they're using like tons of vocal fry in their voice, or somehow damaging their speaking voice when they're talking. If they're not aware of it or trying to mitigate it in some way, if they're just blazing through it, and I hear that in a few years they're going to be having all kinds of vocal problems, or perhaps they already have a vocal problem, drives me batty. If they have that and they're doing things to help solve it, I got nothing against it. I can actually totally ignore it. But if I hear just someone randomly speaking like that, I cannot focus on anything else. It's like as if there were a mosquito buzz in my ear the whole time, or as if there was a spider that was just above my bed and then it like went behind the bed and you can't find it or kill it and you're supposed to sleep the rest of the night. Like, no way. So, speaking voices when being ill-produced unknowingly and blaringly, that is kryptonite for me, really, honestly. And it makes me want to just say like, hey, go get a straw. I'd love to show you a couple really quick tricks to help your voice just feel a little bit better. Because you got to use it your whole life. So that's one of my kryptonites. Tell me what one of yours is. And we'll talk about a lot more, I think, still. So green.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by.
I love the amount of air that he's added to this part. It's breathy, it's breathtaking at the same time. He is really deliberate about breath placement in there as well, and in a part that almost makes it feel like he's too weak to keep going and then takes a breath and is able to manage it. Wow. I'm into his voice. I'm into all the little details that he brings to it, and especially into the rhythm.
Go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my
Go get her.
my
Nice.
kryptonite.
Yeah.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand?
So I want to mention a lot of people think it's so easy to have a breathy tone or not a breathy tone. And I would really challenge you, if you're up for the experiment, to just sing a single pitch and see how breathy you can make that pitch before losing any sense of pitch at all. And then also see how pressed, which is opposite really of breathy, how pressed you can make that pitch. How condensed can you make it? See how far along this spectrum essentially you can waver in your vocal quality, because it's not easy for many people to go back and forth in tone quality like what he's just done.
Kryptonite, yeah! If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman, my kryptonite.
Now, super narrow range, but so many details that make it good. Yay! yeah, got him. Is anybody else just had to cheer at this moment? I mean, he's probably going to get wrecked by the people around him right now, but so brave, did a good thing, and they don't even know. I love the thumbs up. Awesome. I have to say, I actually have this whole list of different things that are kryptonite to me that's written down that I wrote down in preparation to film this. There are a bunch from there. We can talk about them in chat. I'm going to give you one extra right now that I thought was kind of interesting and might be seasonally appropriate. I always feel weakened, which is what kryptonite does, weakened when all of the holiday decorations come down. I know, sappy, but I love Christmas lights. I love that feeling of warmth and light, especially at the darkest time of the year. And yeah, it just makes me a little sad when all the Christmas decorations come down. So let me know again in comments or in live chat what your kryptonite is. And I'd love to hear some more Three Doors Down. So while you're at it, make some recommendations for other songs of theirs that would be good to dive into Brad's voice a little bit more. And while you're doing that, I'll put up a playlist of awesome things that you might want to check out analysis of over here. May you fall more in love with music every day.